Good morning, everyone. Today we shall discuss adjectives. As I've already told you, adjectives belong to the open class items. We shall look into the definition of the word adjective. An adjective is a word which qualifies a noun. This is a traditional definition of an adjective. Which is a traditional definition of the word adjective? It is a word which qualifies a noun. Now, this particular definition takes into account one of the important functions of an adjective. This is not only the only function of the word adjective. We need to look at the morphological features and the typical positions adjectives occupy in a sentence. Adjectives too have typical derivational suffixes, and they too take inflectional suffixes also, which indicate the grammatical feature of degree. Now first, let us try to understand adjectives which have typical derivational suffixes. Ful, full, useful, tearful, peaceful. Ic, poetic, linguistic, cynic. Ial, occasional, financial, traditional. For I, proverbial. Selfish, bookish, reddish, womanish. Les, shameless, graceless, noiseless. For ly, friendly, kingly, wifely. For ous, famous, dangerous, adventurous. Noisy, stony, trendy. Now these are the suffixes. All these suffixes, when it comes in a sentence, can be called an adjective. I repeat once again, ful, full, suffixes, ful, full, ic, ial or al, ish, less, ly, ous and y. All these are suffixes. These suffixes mark a word as an adjective. Having understood the morphological features, there are certain verbs which become adjective by adding the suffix. Compare is a verb. The past tense of compare is compared. If you add a suffix able, it becomes an adjective, comparable. Pay is a verb. By adding able, it becomes an adjective. Question is a verb. By adding able, it becomes an adjective. Similarly, by adding ive to these words, attract, collect, it becomes an adjective. Attractive, collective, exclusive, these are all adjective. Having understood the derivational suffixes, let us look into the inflectional suffixes of adjectives. Adjectives are marked for degree by the addition of two suffixes, er for comparative and est for the superlative degree. Now let us look at the adjectives. Er, there are two degrees of comparison, comparative and superlative. The traditional classification would be positive, comparative, and superlative. For tall is positive, taller is comparative, and tallest is superlative. Now, look at these words. Tall, taller, tallest. Short, shorter, shortest. Big, bigger, biggest. Clean, cleaner, cleanest. Now, these adjectives take the suffixes er and est. For comparative degree, it takes the suffix er, comparative. For superlative, it takes the suffix est. Now, what is comparative? You compare two items. Now, what is superlative? You consider that particular thing or whichever object you are talking about as the highest. Now, having understood that, we have to understand not all adjectives take these suffixes for degree. All the adjectives do not take er and est form. Now, what does it take then? Adjectives derived by the addition of suffixes like ful, ish, able, ive, etc. do not take suffixes for degree. Then if you have to use these words in comparative and superlative sense, how am I to use it? That is, how am I to bring out the differences in degree as indicated by the use of the words? Which are the words more and most? By using the word more, I can put in the words in a comparative degree. By using the word most, I can use it in the superlative degree. Let us see it in the form of sentences. He is the most intelligent person. Here I have used the word most. In what degree? Superlative degree. He is more intelligent than me. Here in this particular sentence, I have compared two people by using the word more. Similarly, you can use the following words in both the degrees. That is, most prominent person, more prominent person, more specific person, most specific item, more useful, most useful. Now, if it does not take the degrees of comparison er and est, we can substitute it by using what? More and most. Why? The suffixes like full, ish, able, ive and other suffixes do not take which form? Do not take er and est form. Now, let us try to understand the types or kinds of adjective. The first is what? Adjectives of quality. They are also called descriptive adjectives. This descriptive adjectives show the kind or quality of a person or thing. Let us see the examples. Bangalore is a large city. It talks about what? The kind of city Bangalore is. It is a large city. He is a wealthy person. Right? He is described, descriptive. English is an international language. You are talking about what type of language English is. This is a first classification. Adjectives of quantity. Adjectives of quantity talk about the quantity of things. Little, much, some, enough, all, any. There is little milk in the can. It describes what? Quantity. I showed or he showed much courage in the war. Once again, quantity. I ate some food or I ate some rice. Talks about war. adjectives of quantity. The third type of adjective are adjectives of number. It talks about what? It talks about the number of persons or things. The adjectives that denote these number are 5, few, no, many. Now, she bought 5 books. It talks about what? Books. Only a few people are kind to the poor. It talks about what? Few people. There is no drawings in the paper. Now it talks about what? No drawings. It talks about what? Adjectives of number. Here it talks about what? Adjective of things. Now adjectives of number are of 3 kinds: definite numeral adjectives, indefinite numeral adjectives, distributive numeral adjectives. What is a definite numeral adjectives? Definite numeral adjectives denote exact number. 1, 2, 3, these are called cardinals in English. First, second, third, these are called ordinals. I like 1 mango, cardinal. He stood first in the class, ordinals. So 1, 2, 3, these numbers denote what? These numbers denote definite numeral adjectives. These numbers are definite. They are not like adjective of quantity wherein we saw some, few. It doesn't talk on those lines. There are some adjectives which are indefinite. They are called indefinite numeral adjectives. These adjectives do not denote exact number. It doesn't talk about exact number. What are those adjectives? Many, some, any, several. There were many people in the garden. This many people can be 1 to 100 or 1 to 50 or even 10, between 10 and 50. I ate some rice. It could be a bowl of rice, any which way. I met several people, many people, several people. This is an indefinite number. Third one is distributive numeral adjective. It is used to refer to each and every person or thing separately. It makes what? A mention of each and every person. How does it make? It makes a mention separately. What are the adjectives we use? Each, every, any, neither. Each girl can take a pencil. Now this particular sentence, each girl, it could be an announcement in the class that each and every girl can take a pencil. So this is an announcement made to each and every person separately. Every word he said was truth. Once again, it is referring to the word he has said, every word. Neither country accepted the treaty. It talks about both the country who had come to sign the treaty. Neither of them have accepted the treaty. Now, distributive numeral adjectives, continued. The same adjectives that I have listed could be classed for quantity or number. How do we know? It depends once again on the way we use these adjectives. Now, I said indefinite numeral adjective for what? Some. You can classify it as what? Adjective of quantity. Some girls are intelligent. Here some refers to what? Number. He lost all his property. Once again, here the adjective is referred what? Refers to adjectives of quantity. All. All men must live. Here adjective refers to what? Number. The other type of adjective is demonstrative adjectives. Demonstrative adjective points out which person or thing we speak. What are those? This, that, these, those, such. This is an interesting story. Demonstrative. That boy is hardworking. These mangoes are sweet. Those mangoes are sour. Now there is a thin line of demarcation. This and that, used with singular nouns, indicate something near to the speaker. This is an interesting story. That boy is hardworking. These and those, used with plural nouns, indicate something distant. This is the meaning that is implied in the usage of demonstrative adjectives. Another type of adjective is interrogative. As the word itself suggests, this adjective is used to question. Used as what? A question. What are they? What, which, and whose. What do you teach at college? Question. Which places do you visit? Whose book is this? All these are what? Adjectives. Interrogative adjectives. The other kind of adjective is possessive adjectives. It talks about what? Ownership, possession. What are the adjectives that are used? My, your, our, his or her, other adjectives. My father, it talks about possession. My father is a teacher. Your father is a doctor. He talks about her possession. This is his pen. This is his pen. His refers to what? Possession. Once again, refers to possession of what? Pen. There are certain adjectives which are used for emphasis. What are they? An adjective used to emphasize what? A noun. Mind your own business. The word own refers to what? A noun. This is the very book I was looking for. It gives emphasis to what? Book. So adjectives can also be used for emphasis. Adjectives could also be used as an exclamatory adjective. Like what? What a beauty. What an idea. What a blessing. Adjectives can be used as what? Proper adjectives, in the sense they are formed by using proper nouns. Indian Army, English grammar, Indian tea. Having understood the types or kinds of adjectives, now let us understand the syntactic features which can be used to identify them. Adjectives in English have the following syntactic features. Many adjectives take the derivational suffix ly to form corresponding adverbs. What are they? Pure ly, purely. True ly, truly. Definite ly, definitely. This is one particular feature. It takes what? An ly form to form what? An adverb. Second feature that we have already seen in the beginning of my discussion is that adjectives are marked for grammatical feature of degree either by the addition of suffixes er for what? Comparative degree, est for what? Superlative degree, and also by the use of more or and most. More for comparative, most for superlative. This is a second syntactic feature. ER for comparative, EST for superlative, more for comparative, most for superlative. Adjectives typically occur in two positions. What are they? Between a determiner and a noun, and the second position is that immediately after the verb in a clause. This is a third typical feature of an adjective. Let's try to understand with an example. The position between a determiner and a noun is called the attributive position. We have to understand two positions now. What is a position between a determiner and a noun? It is called an attributive position. Now, it is a big building. Building is what? A noun.